Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Crate, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a super simple birthday card with this stamp set from Fawn. This is the Sweet Smiles stamp set from them. It is the Gumball. It does have a matching die for the Gumball machine and the Gumball ball. I am making this card for my daughter who is turning 3 in a few weeks. I cannot believe she's turning 3, but she got a little Gumball learning toy for Christmas. And I had this stamp set in my collection, I believe, when my oldest really liked the gumball machines and candy machines, and I hadn't used it for him yet, so I wanted to go ahead and pull it out for her and finally get some use out of this really simple, cute set. So I'm just stamping it onto the card base with Memento Tuxedo black ink, using my stamping platform to do that. And I also stamped the sentiment, "You're so sweet," and then I'm going to take happy birthday from another set and stamp that at the bottom as well. So this was a super simple card, stamping, coloring, a little bit of inking, and then a finishing touch at the end, so stay tuned and see how I finish this card up. There is so many different things you could do with a set like this. You could use the die. I do have the die for it. It was really affordable to get the die and the stamp set. It was almost like the same price to get the die and the stamp set as like a regular stamp, like a bigger stamp set. Since this is a smaller set, it was a good deal. So yeah, you could cut this out and you could layer it up and do a lot of different things, but I chose to just do a one-layer card and make it simple for my 3-year-old. So as you can see, I stamped that happy birthday sentiment at the bottom, and then I'm going to bring in a stamping block from Simon Hurley and stamp some of the little faces that come in the stamp set as well onto the gumballs, because why not? They are included and they're really cute, and I think my daughter will get a kick out of it, and we're gonna have some fun with this card. Add some interest to it, add some fun, and get going. So I'm going to work on the faces, grabbing the faces, and I'm just inking them up. I'm sorry I'm off camera here a little bit, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. Just adding the faces in, and I'm putting them off to this side just so that I can do this quite quickly. And then I do go ahead and make sure that they are all back on the sheet because they're so small and I definitely did not want to lose them. So just adding the faces, giving the gumballs a little bit of personality, if that is something. Lawn Fun's all about the cute, so we had to embrace the cute and add the faces to the gumballs. At first I wasn't sure if I was going to use all of the faces, but I think I pretty much used all of the faces and got it done. And then when this is done, we will move on to the next step. And I finally got into frame. You can see more of what I'm doing, adding these little itty bitty faces on and making them cute. All smiles, so I guess it's the gumballs are all smiling. They've got personality, they're ready to go. They want to go through the gumball machine and come out, and then I'm just adding 3 gumballs, individual gumballs, since my daughter is turning 3, and then I'm going to add faces to these gumballs, and then we can move on to the rest of the card. Let's get this card made. Okay, so now that the gumballs are all stamped out, they've all got their personality, they've all got their cuteness, I am pulling out the Victorian Velvet Distress Oxide ink and just blending around the edges of the card, bringing it into the center, not over the gumball machine, but just adding some color to this white background. And I'm using the Rabbit Hole Designs blending brushes to blend this on. Those are my go-to blending brushes, and I'll have all of the supplies that I'm using in today's video listed down below in the description box. If you ever want to get a closer look at them or purchase some of the items for yourself, you can find links to the supplies down below in the description box. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and color in the Gumball machine and the Gumballs with some Spectrum Noir markers, and I do have a little strip of paper off to the side to just kind of experiment with the colors. I didn't want the colors to be too dark. I wanted it to kind of blend with the pink and just not be super dark and take away from the faces and the images and the image of this stamp set. So I was testing some of the colors out. With the Spectrum Noir colors, I find that the color on the end doesn't always look the same, so I like to either test them out, and I do have like a chart that I can refer to as well. So yeah, just coloring this up. I'll have linked down below to the Spectrum Noir marker page. Because the Spectrum Noir colors are in all these different sets, it's hard to link to them because I don't really remember what sets they are from. So I'll just have a link to that. If you are thinking about getting Spectrum Noir markers, they're definitely more affordable if you want to get bulk colors. I started with the basic packs of 6, or I think it's 6, just in blues and purples and all of that. So that's a good place to start to build up your collection, and then you can start getting the bigger sets that are like florals and jewels and brights and lights. Yeah, that's what I did, and so I will send you to the Spectrum Noir page, and you can kind of see, okay, I am in the market for some new markers, and I want to grab these colors first and slowly build my collection. I guess 8 years ago now, I picked up some markers on discount from a local store here, and I was able to get all of the basic colors right away for an affordable price, and some of those markers, even 8 years later, are still working. They haven't needed to be refilled or replaced, and I've gotten a few new pieces here and there, and they have changed the markers slightly over the years, but they're definitely affordable if you want to get a lot of the colors up front, in my opinion. So that is just something to think about if you are on the fence about alcohol markers, or you want to collect more colors quicker and more affordably. Alright, so we are getting close to finishing up coloring these gumballs, and then we are going to add in the finishing touches of this card. So I wanted this card to be simple. It's just for a 3-year-old. She is super important, but she's going to see it, and then I'm going to put it in a special spot for her. And this is just what was flowing out of my head and what got done super quick. 1-layer card with a few extra details. So now to finish up this card, I am going to grab out some pops of color. I actually only end up using this one, so this is a pop of color from scrapbook.com, and I wanted to match the pink, the Victorian velvet, and so I'm just adding it in slowly on each of the sides and then flicking the paper to make the dots flatten out, and continuing this around the edges. At first I was thinking I was going to use 2 different colors in here and add some more dots, but I decided to just go with the 1 color and keep it simple. So adding the dots on the last part very carefully so that I do not smudge them. And then to finish up this card and to make the image kind of stand out and be like a glossy gumball machine, like the plastic, I am just using some clear glue. This dries clear, and I am adding it on the whole image to give you that glossy accents effect. You could use official glossy accents as well. I have never ever purchased glossy accents. I actually saw it at Michael's the other day. I had a Michael's gift card and I was like, glossy accents. Maybe I should try this. But I was like, no, I want to get some new alcoholic, so I didn't try it. But this works perfectly too. As long as it's clear and you're careful and you're slow, you can get a similar effect or an effect that works, gives you that impression. Definitely make sure that you dry this on a flat surface. I did have some issues with this card and the glue moving a little bit because I did not let it dry on a flat surface. But as you can see, you get that glossy effect. It looks like glass or plastic, and I really like how that turned out. So that is today's card. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I have more content coming your way. Bye for now.